My fellow South Africans, this is my open statement to one Cyril Ramaphosa. My name is Winston Kutsia. Now, Mr. Cyril, somewhat right off the bat, I want to tell you that I have no respect for you because you have no respect for me. I don't like you because you don't like me. The reason being I'm saying these things, Cyril Ramaphosa, or Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, is because you and your whole cabinet and your whole NCC, CC, whatever they are taking this country on a economic suicide. You guys are committing economical suicide, and you're taking all of us South Africans with you. As I'm sitting here, Ramaphosa, I'm in the process of losing my house, my car, my family. Everything I've worked for with these two hands, I am in the process of losing because of you and your council and your whatever you want to call it. And if you want to come talk about me about white privilege, or racism, or whatever you want to freaking call it, I'm going to stop you right there, in your tracks, right there. My dad had nothing growing up. He was a poor white man in South Africa growing up. Whatever he had, whatever he done to raise us children, he done with those two hands. When he passed, he didn't leave me land. He didn't leave me a house, a car, or this lavishing or money or nothing. He left me with nothing. He left me with knowledge. He left me with how to use these two things to earn a living. Everything I've worked for, Ramaphosa, you and your whole cabinet of so-called experts have taken away from me. You have destroyed everything I've built. You want to come talk about economics in this country, in that country. You know what, Ramaphosa? You are as happy as can be. Because your bank account just went up with this whole lockdown. Dlamini Zuma just went up with this whole lockdown. And you, Ramaphosa, like Mr. Mugabe, you already moved your assets overseas. You and your brother, Robert Mugabe, is exactly the same. You're doing exactly the same thing. But let's look at Robert Mugabe. You know what? Robert Mugabe, in his one statement, he said, "You, Blair, keep your England. I will keep my Zimbabwe." Do you know what? When the shit hit the fan in Zimbabwe, what did Robert Mugabe do? He took the first plane out of there. He didn't even die in his Zimbabwe. He didn't even die there. And you, Ramaphosa, is going to do the same thing. As soon as shit hits the fan in South Africa, you will be on the first plane out of here to your holiday destination, wherever you put your money. Not your money, our money. Wherever you put our money. That's what you're going to do. This whole speech of yours, like where you told Trump, "You, Trump, keep your America, I will keep my South Africa." Shit hits the fan, you will be on the first plane out of here. You and your canonis have stolen this country dry, and now you're leaving us to burn. You're leaving us to fall apart. You're leaving us to fend for ourselves. Our farmers have to fend for themselves because you have left us. You have abandoned us. You're not worth being called my president. You're not even worth being called that. So as I'm sitting here, Ramaphosa, I want to tell you something tonight. As I'm sitting here with basically everything I've worked for gone down the drains. I want to tell you, as long as these taxis can operate at 100%, I will operate at 100%. Because you can't have one sector of the country working at full capacity 100%, but the rest of South Africa not. If the taxi can be at 100% capacity, I will go and work. If a taxi can be at 100% capacity, I will go and visit my friends and family. If a taxi can be at 100% capacity, I will go visit my grandfather and grandmother in the old age home. If a taxi can be at 100%, I will open my business. If a taxi can be at 100% capacity, I will open my bar. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, Mr. President. Cyril Ramaphosa. You can't tell one hand to do something and not the other hand. That's not the way it works. And you and Dlamini Zuma and Beketsele and Mkhize, none of you guys threaten me. I'm not scared of any of you guys. You don't intimidate me. You don't intimidate South Africans. This decision you made with your speech on Sunday have broken millions of people's lives and livelihoods. But you don't feel a thing because you are a billionaire. So you don't worry. How many South Africans are jobless? Black, white, Indian color, doesn't matter what color your scene is. How many of us are jobless? Because of you. Because of you and your maladministration. So I'm sitting here, Ramaphosa, telling you that no longer will you and your canonis be stepping and tramping on my basic human rights. I have the basic human right. I have the right to earn a living. That's why my business will be open. As long as taxis are operating at 100% capacity, my business will be operating at 100% capacity. You have no right, none of you have any right to take away my basic human right to earn a living. Take away my basic human rights to make decisions. If I want to have a smoke, I will have a smoke. If I will sell a smoke, I will sell a smoke. That's the way it works. None of you have the authority to trample on our basic human rights. South Africa, the whole of South Africa are hungry. We are thirsty, we are hungry, we are jobless, we are homeless, we are just left with nothing. While you, what do you have? What have you lost, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa? What have you lost, Ms. Dlamini Zuma? What have you lost, Beketsele? What have you lost, Mkhize? What have any of you ministers lost? Nothing. In fact, some of you have gained during this lockdown a whole lot. That's why I say, join me on Here I Am SA. We are going to take back our basic human rights, Mr. Ramaphosa. None of you are going to stop us. Because that's what the taxi industry did. You told the taxis not to operate and they told you what? We will operate. And you said, okay. So it's time we are also going to stand up. Join me, my fellow South Africans. Here I Am SA. We are going to put a stop to this government trampling on our basic human rights. As long as the taxis operate 100%, I will operate at 100%. That's the way it works. Take it or leave it. Join me, South Africa. Enough is enough. It stops here and it stops now.